When multiplying fractions, there's a couple different ways you can do it. The main thing you need to know is we need to multiply across the top and across the bottom, which is different from adding and subtracting. So I look at this and I don't really want to deal with having to simplify after I multiply 12 times -5 and 25 times 3. I also want to, while I'm thinking of it, go back here and remember that for B, this should have been a negative 2067 because we actually forgot about the negative we had circled originally. Now going back to these problems, looking at 12 over 25 times -5 over 3, I don't want to multiply those big of numbers. The nice part about multiplying is with multiplying only, you can simplify before you multiply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at something in the top and something in the bottom that have a common factor. And I say, well, 12 and 3, they both can be divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 25 and -5, those can both be divided by 5. 5 divided by 5, I'm going to put the negative here still, -1. And 25 divided by 5 is 5. So now when I multiply across, I get 4 times -1, which is -4, and 5 times 1, which is 5, and I get -4/5 for an answer, which is already simplified. If you take 12 times -5 and get -60, and 25 times 3 and get 75, you can then simplify down to get -4/5, but it's a lot, to me, it seems like a lot more work. With problem E, we have -9/2 times -6. A lot of you want to take -9 times -6 and 2 times -6. However, if you remember, the whole numbers can be written as a fraction by putting it over 1. Then I see that 6 and 2 are both divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. -6 divided by 2 is -3. Now I have 1's in the bottom, and I can say, well, 1 times 1 is 1, so my answer is going to be an integer. -9 times -3, negative times a negative is positive. -9 times -3 is 27. If you left it as 27 over 1, I would cross off the over 1, but I wouldn't mark it wrong. Now, our next one, 2/3 of the freshman class have school spirit. There are 471 freshmen. How many have school spirit? Key word here is of. Of means multiply. Please remember that because that's a big thing. We're saying 2/3 of 471. Now, I know that first off I need to put 471 over 1. Then I use my skills because 471 is really big. I know that 4 plus 7 plus 1 is 12, and I know 12 is divisible by 3. Therefore, 471 is divisible by 3. So I can take my 3 divided by 3 and get 1. Now I have 1's in the denominator because I know I can't have part of a person. And 471 divided by 3, 3 goes into 4 once with 1 left over. 3 goes into 17 5 times with 2 left over. And 3 goes into 21 7 times. So we now have 157 times 2. Well, 7 times 2 is 14. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Carry the 1. And 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So we have 314 freshmen.